Hey, everybody, listen. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. It's August the 7th. Happy Thursday. Welcome into the building, people. Yes, it's Thursday. It's trending topics. And listen, the title is simple. It's called What Happened? What happened? So I'll be sure when Diddy was locked away, was on the streets, talking all slick, talking all kind of stuff. You know, he's writing a book. And the book is titled, Do You Believe Me Now? And he was going to give all the tea. Give the tea about how he felt about Kim Porter and her untimely death. How Diddy was the cause of him being in a coma in 2022. It was pre-sale, it was this, it was that, the other. He was talking, running his mouth. And now, after the verdict, and his book was supposed to come out in this month, matter of fact, August, I want to say. Later this month. In the book company, they shelved it. So nice. It's not coming out. Now, y'all ready for a diva thought? Here's a diva thought. There were a ton of people banking on the fact that Diddy was going to be found guilty on all charges. A ton. People were ready to take his money. They were ready to bank off of his downfall. They was waiting for it. And when that verdict came back and it said not guilty on the more serious charges, the people fell out, lost their mind, and didn't know what to do. And they all had to scramble and do something different. I bet you the headlines was ready. The stories was ready. Everybody was ready to slam him up underneath the grave because they thought it was going to be guilty across the board. They was ready with the interviews. They had the lawsuits lined up. They was ready. And I'll be sure was one of them too, ready with his book. Do You Believe Me Now? See, here's the problem I have with a lot of these people. They knew so much. They had so much information. And so much happened to them. But I'm confused on the highest level because the Southern District of New York, they needed witnesses. I'm confused why none of those people would have enough information to be a witness on that witness stand. I'm confused. You want coercion, fraud, all that kind of stuff? These people in the streets talking greasy and slick. But yet, the prosecutors did not use them as a witness. I'll be sure has so much information about what Diddy did. I mean, if they dug up Kid Cudi in this car that got blown up but didn't get blown up, but did get blown up, but they didn't have no mail prints on the evidence, they brought him. But you got Al B. Sure, who says, and he knows it all. Why did they not put that man on the stand? And now all of a sudden, they're saying creative differences in the information he was going to put in his book. It's no creative differences. Now that Diddy hasn't been found guilty, you don't feel as easy, and this is a diva thought, to tell your lies, because he would be able to refute them. Because he's not going to do life in prison. And so I'll be sure, as usual, he's saying that somebody blocked his book. And he's getting an investigator. He's going to get to the bottom of it. And of course, you know, he's 10 tones down that Diddy and his team blocked the book. Well, if they were going to block the book, why wouldn't they have blocked it from the door? I guess you figure he has time now since he was only found guilty on 2 charges of the Mann Act. This is wild to me. Do we believe you now, Al B. Sure? No, I need you to come out and tell us more information. And I need some facts. And then I might believe you. But right now, I'm giving you the side eye. You wanted them to dig up Kim's body to prove you don't believe she died or what she died of? But I'll be sure, if you want to tell a story, and I'm saying this as respectfully as I can, if you want to tell a story, tell us why you and your blood son are not that close. Tell us why, if you said Diddy is a monster, why did you allow your son to be raised pretty much by Diddy? You got to talk to us, Al. If you want to tell a story, tell your side of this story. Tell us why your son was at the courthouse in New York every single day for his stepdaddy. And y'all two don't really speak like that. Talk to us, Al. We want to hear you talk, but we want to know about the relationship between you and your son. So what happened? We're going to talk about it. Then we're going to talk Larsa Pippen. She's only 50. And I'm saying only 50 because I'm 55. So I'm older than her. I could be a big sister, her cousin, something. And I'm saying this, again, everything in the most respectful way that I can. This girl is only 50. Why does she have the need, the knit, tuck, touch her face, fillers, and all this other stuff? And I'm not trying to shame her, but she looked like a straight blow-up doll right now. And she's only 50. See, it's one thing. If you want to date younger, then that's whatever. Do what you want to do, as long as it's all consenting adults. But when you're an older woman and you want to date younger, but then you want to compete and knit, tuck, fill, and all this to yourself so you can actually look younger, that's when it starts becoming problematic. She's destroying herself. It's a beautiful girl. And now she done did so much stuff to herself, it's looking crazy. But we'll talk about it. It's too much. And then, unfortunately, and I'm so sorry, every now and then, you know, these sad stories come through. 18-year-old teenager on vacation with his mom, the cousins, they with the family. It's family. It's like a family vacation. He goes with his cousins, and now he's missing. And unfortunately for the mom, and I know the mom, if it was me, listen, y'all just come do my eulogy, because I don't know, I just couldn't be able to handle it. So he texts his mom and said, "Mom, help." But mom was asleep. He tried to FaceTime her. She was asleep. When she woke up in the morning and saw the text, she like to die. She tried to call him. They've been looking for him. And the cousins keep telling different versions of the story. When you're not safe with your own family, God help us all. Remember the young girl? And I keep trying to find updates on this story, and I haven't found anything yet. But remember the young girl? I think she was 7. They was all at grandma's house. The cousins are fighting over the phone. The older cousin unalived her 7-year-old cousin over a phone, but she just didn't unalive her. She cleaned her up, washed her up, and laid her in the bed like she was asleep. Now, I'm sorry, that's psychotic. You take the life of your cousin, then you wash her up, you put clean clothes on her, and put her in the bed like she sleep. That's psychotic. Care what nobody say. So now you got the 18-year-old, and you know, here's the thing too. Portia and Quilla, she thought she was going away with friends. Listen, I'm super old school. You know, my whole life, I ain't really fool with too many people. Because people will smile in your face like they're your friend, and honey, they be literally stab you in the back. They'll leave you for dead. You got to watch who you go with, watch who you hang with, and you got to make sure, do they really like me? If you get a gut feeling that a group of people you're about to hang with, just one person in that group don't like you, don't go. Don't go. So now this poor 18-year-old, he was with the cousins. The cousins came and picked them up. And see, you know what? This is the other problem I have. This 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't care how old you are. You know, when I was growing up, they said after midnight, don't nothing good be happening in the streets. And I raised it up. I'm going to say after 10 o'clock. After 10 o'clock, what are you doing in the streets? I don't care how old you are. What are you really doing? But definitely after midnight. So after midnight, what are you doing in the streets? The cousins came, picked them up some wee hours in the morning. They supposed to be going to somebody else's house. He allegedly got mad. There was a fight or whatever the case may be. And they put him out the car. He jumped out the car, whatever. They keep changing the story. But now he's missing. The super sad thing about this is his family, his cousins. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. It's so incredibly sad. It's super sad. Your own cousins. And now you're not here. And nobody knows what happened. Listen, people, y'all know what time it is, right? Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night trending topics, and we got stuff to talk about. Come on to Friday Eve, okay? The title is called What Happened? B Sure book is shelved. Larsa Pippen new look. I don't understand it. Let me say this. If y'all ever notice on my channel, listen, I'm far from perfect, okay? But if you ever notice on my channel, I lean all the way away from talking about people looks in a bad way. Listen, we don't have, if we had control over our looks, you know, we can say before we came out, I want to have long hair, long eyelashes, nice eyebrows, whatever. Who wouldn't do it? People don't have control with their looks. But Larsa, beautiful girl, why did she do all this to her? All I can say, people, is when you look in the mirror, speak goodness to yourself, love yourself, And don't be doing all this chop, cut, and all this knit, tuck. It's just not good. And if you do go to do that, find you a good doctor that's not going to do the Michael Jackson on you and just be taking your money. In this missing teen case, let me bring Julius on in the building. Hey, Julius.
Hey, y'all. Today's word, we got a word for today, y'all. It's called venting. We got a vet, and also Diva already said it. Okay, when you get a gut feeling, trust that feeling because it is your conscience, your intuition, your say so telling you, no, it's time to cut that person loose. Trust me, I just had to do so. So trust me, when you get that gut feeling, trust it. Choo choo. Now hit the like button or else I'm closing down the snack bar for good. Y'all tripping with the likes yesterday. Come on now, hit them up.
Thank you, Julius. Well, you know what? Okay, Flip, then I'm going to join this party here. He said, no shade. It's 2025. We listen and we judge. Well, there we go. We listen and we judge. Okay, boom. Okay. That's 2025 model. We're going to do that. We listen and we judge. So let me go ahead. Let's go ahead and talk about this. Let's do Larsa Pippen. Let me get her out the way. I just, let me just do the story. Everybody wants to date young. The new this is the old dad and the this and that. I just think it's just crazy to me. So look at that picture. The left, I guess I'll call it for me. Beautiful. What the heck she did on the right here? Team too much. For real. Team too much. Okay, wait. And then, hold on one second. Is that where I want it? Because I thought I had something else clicked open for her. I guess not. I must have clicked out of it. It's okay. We'll get into this. So about face, Real Housewives of Miami, Larsa Pippen debuts a very different face in unfiltered photos from New York City event. As fans say, this looks painful. Larsa also gives advice on how many times couples should have sex. Larsa Pippen looked very different during her recent press tour for Real Housewives of Miami. Larsa, 51, headed to New York City with her boyfriend and basketballer Jeff Kobe, 31, where she showed off a brand new look during her media interviews. That's her brand new look there. Okay, hold on. I do want to show you this little clip really quick. Hold on. It's going so fast.
Of course. You are welcome. Welcome.
Yes. Thank you. So you were in a couple of first seasons of Miami, so you got us going, and then you went away, and then you came back. Now, why'd you come back?
I came back during COVID.
Okay.
My kids were older. I had more free time.
Okay.
And I thought, why not come back and, have some fun with the girls?
Yeah.
And I was still friends with the girls, and I kept up with everyone. And so it was a really easy transition for me to come right back.
Right.
Let me just pause that. Okay. So that's her before, which is not bad. This right here is just team too much. Okay. The Real Housewives of Miami alum stopped into Goodnight New York on Fox 5, where she gave updates on her life, relationships, and even shared her thoughts on how often a couple should be having sex. But people watching the segment took to social media to talk about Larsa's different look and speculated that she had further cosmetic enhancements. Larsa got a new face for the summer, wrote one person on Reddit. Another person on X, formerly Twitter, commented, I wish Larsa just left her face alone, man. And a third posted, Larsa made you think you made Larsa what you made you think you needed to change your whole face and your body. While Larsa has not confirmed any additional work to her face, she previously disclosed the cosmetic enhancements she has done. I've had my nose done. I had my lips done, and that's basically it, she said during the Real Housewives of Miami season 5 reunion, and also added that she had a boob job. I'm into trends, and I feel like whatever makes me feel good and look good, I'm willing to do it. I'm that person. I'm very happy with the way I look. Larsa rose to fame in 1997 after she tied the knot with NBA legend Scottie Pippen, but they separated in 2018 and finalized their divorce 3 years later. During their marriage, the Pippens welcomed 4 children: Scottie Jr., Preston, Justin, and Sophia. There she is again. Outside of managing her high-end jewelry line, Larsa Marie has also made several TV appearances over the years on shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Selling Sunset, The Wendy Williams Show, and The Real Housewives of Miami. When she is not working, she can often be found posting about her life on Instagram to over 5.4 million followers. Since Larsa's divorce was finalized, she has not remarried, but she did date with the son of Pippen's former Chicago Bulls teammate, Michael Jordan's son, Marcus. Their relationship raised eyebrows over their 16-year age gap, but she said age does not matter and had dated men her own age before she got with current squeeze Jeff. I'm with you. I want to be with. I'm with you. I want to be with. Larsa said on Good Night New York, adding that her and Jeff, we have so much fun together. We have so much in common. That's them. He's a nice looking guy. That's them together. Listen, I think part of her dating these younger men, she's feeling the need to look forever young. I think she's doing too much, but that's my opinion. Julius, your thoughts?
Okay, girl. Ladies in the village, let's come to the table and let's have a conversation. Okay, we're gonna have us a conversation. And I say this with love, okay? We already have one crazy bastard case. Look what little Kim did to herself.
Mm.
Okay? We don't need another one. Ooh, was that too harsh? Oh, EV. Okay, anywho, back to it. If you feel that you have an insecurity inside of you, or if you are unsure about something, journal. And better yet, talk to a professional to try to figure out what that is. Before doing any kind of altering to yourself, you cannot you cannot undo those changes. Because once you make those changes and the effects from them, darlings, okay? Auntie Jules is trying to give y'all some love, some talking time here, okay? It is hard to revert back. So, first, seek a professional that can just ask you, well, how do you feel about that? Don't keep up with the social media trends to get the latest lipo and the latest tatas and the latest BBLs. Because guess what? Like a comedian said, them BBLs be unaliving, y'all. Okay. Now, in closing, love yourselves the way
Go ahead,
the
Julie.
Lord has loved you. Amen.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
She looked like a blow up dog, but she's been gotten some a whole bunch of bees.
We got a lot of feedback, Katrina.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna switch over. Go to Wayne, and I'm gonna switch
Okay.
back.
Okay. Wayne, your thoughts?
You know, when you're popular, have money, whatever, people will tell you just what you want to hear.
Mm.
And I'm sure everybody told her she was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But that's unfortunate. Because nobody's going to tell her. I don't care how bad she looks. How many, you think any personal friends of Michael Jackson told him he didn't look real or whatever?
Mm.
And as long as you have money, there's somebody out there will gladly accept it. Because when they go there, if one doctor says, no, I don't think you should do that, they're going to go until they find one that says yes. So long as you have a yes and some money, you're going to always have people looking like this and think they are a 10. I'm done.
Thank you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Is it better now, Diva?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, these, like I said, you can do whatever you want to do with your face, your body, or what's up. Your age still gonna be there. You can come back looking like you a newborn baby, but you're still gonna be in your 50s or your 60s. So, and like Wayne said, these people do this to these people because they have the access and they have the money. And doing all these procedures, I think it was Joan Rivers who did the procedure to her. She unalived herself. Well, she was unalive on the table. She was trying to go out and get another facelift. I'm like, lady, how tight you want your face to be? But I guess they have body dysmorphia or whatsoever, or they trying to go against the younger people that's coming up. The thing of it is, they saying she got to let her face settle or whatsoever. But girl, if I got to look like I went into a bee's nest to make sure my face is settled, I think I'd just leave it alone. And plus, if there was nothing wrong with her, I mean, we saying there's nothing wrong, but I guess she looking in the mirror and seeing something different. But all I can say is they need to be careful with these procedures because any type of way a filter can get in your bloodline, and that's a embolism right there, and you gone. So uh, the thing about it is you just got to love yourself. And regardless of what people say about you, you got to have your own self-confidence because you can do whatever you want to do and you're still not going to be happy. So if you're not happy within in yourself, you're not going to be happy regardless of what they do, what kind of surgeries you get done. So I just wish her all the best. And like I said, y'all, just be careful when you do those surgeries because it's not my place to tell you who and what not to do it. But just be careful when you do it. That's all
Katrina,
I got,
check
Diva.
that. Katrina, check that story on Joan Rivers.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. So, you know what? You said something that really triggered in me. Um, um, what was I gonna say? You're right. If you are not liking what you see in the mirror, right? And they do cosmetic surgery, it is almost like Michael Jackson. It was never enough. It was never enough. And that's something deeper than what he was seeing in the mirror. Yeah. It's just never enough. So super sad. I hope she's done touching herself. But Mo said that she also does OnlyFans. And so maybe she's trying to keep up and keep her bag on OnlyFans. I don't know. I think it's seen too much, and I thought she just looked beautiful to me. There's no way she should have she was aging that badly that she needed that much procedures done. And I think all of these ladies at the end of the day, they're going to regret those butt implants, those breast implants, the fillers in their neck, mouth, lips, whatever, because you putting that stuff in your lips, but it's traveling throughout your body. It's just, I think it's too much. Anywho, let me continue and move on. We're going to go into the next story. And the next story I'll do is this Al B Sure book is blocked, okay? So we're not going to get to see it. So hold on one second, at least for now. But Al B Sure, as always, he's saying, did he block his book? And blah, 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 blah. Typical Al B Sure. So Simon & Schuster puts Al B Sure's book on ice amid creative differences over Diddy. There's a battle over Diddy between Al B Sure and Simon & Schuster. The publisher had promised that the singer, who was once married to Diddy's late ex, Kim Porter, will reveal dirt on the rapper in a new book, including a claim that he has something to do with Sure falling into a coma in 2022. But after announcing the memoir, Do You Believe Me Now, in May, ahead of Diddy's trial, Simon & Schuster has pulled it from its website, and we're told the project is on ice. The R&B crooner's lawyer, Robert J. Hintman, told Page 6 there's been creative differences over Diddy between Shure and the publisher. Simon and Schuster wanted him to include more stuff about P. Diddy, but he didn't really want to go there. Hampman said, you know what? He didn't want to go there since when? Since the verdict came out? Because he was running his mouth before that saying he was going to go there. The book is suddenly unavailable for pre-order on Amazon, which along with Audible posted a new release date of December 31, 2050. 2050 is how many years from now? 25 years from now? The page for the Audible edition of the book has also been removed from Amazon entirely. Shure and Diddy history dates back to 1990 at Uptown Records, where Shure was the label's biggest star and a young Combs was an intern. The Secret Garden singer was married to Porter, who became Diddy's longtime on and off partner and mother to 3 of the Bad Boy Records founders' children. She and Shure had son Quincy Brown, who Diddy adopted, but we have since learned that Diddy never adopted Quincy, and that's why Quincy's last name is still Brown and not Combs. Shure has been one of the mobile's most vocal industry critics amid his trial and various ongoing SA allegations. He was even said in interviews promoting the book that he believes Diddy has something to do with his 2022 coma that resulted in him having a liver transplant. He also cast doubt on pneumonia being the cause of ex-Porter's 2018 death. His public remarks about Diddy and Porter set off a media firestorm as he speculated about possible ties, his life-threatening medical crisis, and Sean Combs, according to Simon Schuster's press release about the book. The readers were promised a memoir that reveals the untold story of his near-death health emergency, shocking times to Sean Combs, romance with the late Kim Porter, and the extraordinary highs and life-threatening lows of being a pioneering New Jack Swing superstar. While claiming that Simon and Schuster wanted more Diddy in the tome, Hampman also told us he believes somebody could have intervened because they were afraid of the truth coming out. But the thing is, he can still, this is a free world. He doesn't need for this book company to put his book out. He can put the book out himself. Okay. So if someone interfered, we're going to investigate. We'll speak to famed private eye Bo Dietl. We're thinking of getting Bo to investigate, he said. No, if you think something's wrong, go ahead and get him to investigate. Combs has never commented on Shure's allegations, and multiple sources tell us, they handle him with kid gloves because he's mentally unstable. He also shot back, he's not mentally deficient. If anyone says he's insane, come out and contact me directly so we can sue them, he said. In July, Combs was found guilty of transportation to engage in P, and we know the rest. All right, Julius, go ahead because I got to take this call real quick. Give me your thoughts.
Oh, Lordy mercy. Okay, I'm going to be brief. Al, you did not raise Quincy. You did not do the heavy lifting in raising Quincy. And I believe it was around what? Because I know we covered it on the channel. Quincy sent a letter to him in 2009 around his teenage years telling him to basically leave him alone. I don't remember all the contents of the letter because, like I said, my mind is foggy and it's been some months since we covered it. But Quincy has said to leave him alone. And Al has not, he claims to love his son. Oh, my son this, my son that. I love my son oh so much. He claims to love his son oh so much. But he keeps disparaging the man that raised his son and the woman that birthed his son. Where were you? Why you didn't fight for your son? Why you didn't want to, and and I don't use this term loosely, but it seems like for the media attention, say my son this, my son that, my son this, my son that. When your son has told you, can you please stop talking about my parents? Especially with the whole thing with that alleged book. He's like, can you please stop talking about my parents? If you claim to love me, you'll quit it. Did he stop? No. He kept going. And so Al, you're just in one ear and out the other. You just love to hear yourself talk because you're not listening to your son. Quincy wants nothing to do with you. You wasn't there. After you and Kim parted ways way back in the early 90s or mid 90s when y'all did stop courting each other, you chose to live the player life and not be a part of his life. Well, guess what? Even if Diddy didn't officially adopt him, I knew Quincy as Diddy's son. I'm going to be frank with you. I knew Quincy as Diddy's son. And I'll be sure, you really want to know what you are? You really want to know what it is that you are to Quincy. You are nothing but the seed donor. Point blank, period. Seed. SEED. That's what you are to that boy. Now, man, quit crying and go somewhere and sit down.
Mm. Savannah, your thoughts?
Hey Diva, hey panel.
Hey.
I Al, I wish he would disappear like Gina. Because I remember Quincy having a interview with Angela on her show. What's her name? Angela Yee. Um, and he stated that they know each other. Their relationship is a friendship. It's not a father-son. It doesn't. That relationship isn't natural. It seems forced. And so he, being Al, tries to get them to do things together. But when it comes to Quincy, how he sees it is just two grown men. He doesn't see that as this person is my father. So I wish he would stop trying to force something on this grown man, because he's a man. And I think, well, I know that Quincy's priorities and focus is on what's going on with the only father that he has known, which is Sean Combs. And Al is at his big old age, he needs to accept that he gave his son up a long time ago.
Mm. Katrina, your thoughts? Katrina, are you
Either
there?
go to Wayne first and I'll come back.
Okay, Wayne, your thoughts?
You know, Simon and Schuster, they about making money.
Mm-hmm.
And they know what sells.
Mm.
You fed them some BS and they thought they was getting some real BS, some real stuff to tell. Diddy and all that, because you talk that talk. And he couldn't produce nothing. And he probably couldn't produce nothing because it's probably nothing to produce.
Oh.
But like somebody said in the chat, he saw an opportunity. But this ain't working out. Because these people, they're masters of what they're doing in selling books. You think they're going to put out a book and you mess their name up? You know, they know what the people want. People want the dirt. You said you had dirt on Diddy. Okay, you said about Kim Porter, all this. And figure you're going to add, they're going to get some more tea. So if Simon and Schuster feel they're not going to get paid, you might as well squash this. And they said it's on ice. It's cold. They didn't say at a later date. It's shelved. It's gone.
Mm.
especially after the trial. So Al B Sure is washed up.
You know, I'm coming to, let me see, Measure Man. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Mr. Trouble in the House, LLJK. Hey, family. I'm not fed, as I have heard. I got an entitled 12 to 12 job entrepreneur. Who said you was fed? That's funny. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. You know what? Let me say this with just in general with many people. I feel sometimes people think if they leave something alone, that means the other person has won. You know, every fight is not ours to fight, so to speak, right? Sometimes you got to really let go and let God. And I'm not saying that Diddy never did nothing wrong in his life. That would be totally insane and crazy. That's just total madness. That's just craziness, right? Definitely not saying that. But what I am saying is that he has a bigger fight to fight. And to me, the bigger fight to fight is getting a relationship with your biological son. Get a relationship with your son. You so hell bent on, you know, fighting Diddy. And I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of people are also mad at Diddy because they feel like, how did this man make it in amount and get all of this money? What about me? So Measure Man, Simon Schuster publishing my book, and they don't play. I gave them receipts, foster care abuse. Told y'all about Al a year ago. Yeah, you did. I mean, this is just, it's insane. Al B Sure needs to go sing on someone's Carnival Cruise or something. Not a Carnival Cruise. Oh my God. Savannah, your thoughts?
Diva, it's on Katrina. I went already.
I'm sorry. Thank you, Katrina. Your thoughts? Not a Carnival Cruise.
No, he go sing on a Carnival Cruise. He probably gonna fall overboard like what's in the
Oh God,
Genuine did on the stage, fell backwards. Al just need to give it up.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, this man, you claim this man was intimidating you, and yeah, it's right here. Hold on. You claim this man was intimidating you. Yeah, it was too big. He's So what gets me is, so I guess all of y'all are just pussycats. If y'all let this man intimidate you, you scared of him, you was doing this, your son was with another man raising your son, and you didn't step in to do anything, and now you want to say this happened, that happened, and he did this to Kim and all that, and you knew this and you didn't do anything about it. So we really don't want to hear about it now. It's too late for her, and it's basically too late for you because you had the opportunity to do something and you didn't. So we really don't want to hear anything you got to say. You can go with the little tight jeans you used to wear back in the day with your own girl or whatever and let it be, because the folks is not listening to your book. They're not listening to you because we've known that you was a coward. Because if you saying all this stuff was happening, you didn't do anything about it then, why are you trying to do something about it now? You should have been did something about it. So we don't care. Sorry, Al. Even though I cut my hair like I had a haircut like you when I was in the 9th grade, I'm just so disappointed. But that's all I got to do.
All right. So, you know, we're going to roll into this next story, which is kind of convoluted and sad. So hold on. Let me share screen. This one right here.
Now, the search for a missing teen last seen in Manatee County. That is 18-year-old Giovanni Pelletier. He hasn't been seen since early Friday. Now, the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office says he was on vacation with his family in Englewood.
Fox 13's Kylie Jones is in Manatee County tonight with what we know.
The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office says Giovanni was headed towards Brevard County with his cousins. They reportedly told deputies that he left them somewhere in this area of Manatee County near I-75 and State Road 70. Now, agencies on both sides of the state are joining in this investigation. A family vacation ended in a search for missing 18-year-old Giovanni Pelletier.
This family is desperate for answers.
The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office says Giovanni was on vacation with family in Englewood last week. Deputies say he left with several people around 1:30 Friday morning to visit other family in Brevard County. The Tampa Bay area search group We're the Essentials says Giovanni's from North Carolina.
He was picked up by his cousin and two of the cousin's friends. There were 3 individuals that came down from the Mims area to pick him up in Inglewood at his grandparents' house.
Shelley Croft with We Are the Essentials says Giovanni's mom tells them that she got a text from him about 21 minutes after he got picked up.
The text message said, "Help me, Mom," and he has not been seen or heard from again.
The sheriff's office says Giovanni was headed north on I-75 with his cousins. They reportedly told deputies that Giovanni suddenly started acting erratically, then got out of the car and walked away near State Road 70 in Manatee County. But it's not clear what happened next.
Giovanni had Find My iPhone on his phone, so Mom was able to track that backpack for miles.
The Brevard County Sheriff's Office has now joined this investigation. A search for Giovanni was underway in Brevard County on Monday. Our Orlando Fox affiliate spoke with several people there who say they're Giovanni's cousins.
My cousin Giovanni was missing for almost 4 days now, and we just want him to come home.
Back on this side of the state, the search group is asking anyone who is in the area of I-75 from Charlotte to Manatee County early Friday to check dash camera or security camera footage.
Our goal here is to find Giovanni.
If you know anything about Giovanni's whereabouts or think you may have seen something, you're asked to contact the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office or your local agency. The Sheriff's Office says it's been flooded with tips, so it's asking people to report those tips to their local agency first so they can be verified. Reporting in Manatee County, Kylie Jones, Fox 13 News.
Sad. I got more information to add to that, but I want to back up to Measures Man comment for a minute. See, that's the problem too. That's the problem with Al B Sure too. And he never told people a month before his illness he had gastric bypass surgery. I think that's important. Just saying, speak the truth, tell it all. That part right there. So he's acting as if he was just perfectly fine walking around in the world, and out of nowhere, he had this and he had to get a liver transplant and he went into a coma and all of that. No, sir, it could have been the complications from your gastric bypass surgery, because that's a major thing too. You spread the truth. And what I thought is interesting, I didn't do this story, but he stepped down from the liver trans being like a spokesperson for them. Something in the water ain't clean with this situation. I'm like, all of a sudden he's stepping down from being a advocate for this. But let me go back to this story, which is so incredibly sad. Let me add to it, because now everybody changing their story, which normally happens in this situation. It's very sad. So begs for help, pleading text, missing boy Giovanni sent in hours before he vanished, as people last seen him change their story. Okay, hold on one second. Let me. Devastated family members tell the U.S. Sun about the critical moments before beloved Giovanni disappeared. The frantically worried family of the missing teenager has revealed his heartbreaking and eerie final text, which has sparked an increasingly desperate manhunt. Fears are mounting for the safety of Giovanni, 18, from North Carolina, who was last seen on August 1st after meeting up with some family members late at night in Inglewood, Florida. That's him. Giovanni was keen to connect with some relatives of his estranged father and had, you hear that word? Words are important. Of his estranged father, and had arranged for 3 of his cousins whom he never met before to pick him up at around 1:30 a.m. But just 30 minutes after he left the small town of Mims, he began sending multiple members of his family desperate text messages begging for help. Aunt Desiree emotionally told the U.S. Sun that no one is resting until Giovanni is found. She revealed he sent a series of worrying SOS messages writing "help me" before frantically sending me repeatedly to an aunt. The U.S. Sun understand the calls for help were received by Mom Bridget, his Aunt Caitlin, and his grandfather. This is out of character, Desiree said. He's a good kid. The words were so jumbled up together. It was like he was trying to quickly get out the text out. He wanted help. Bridget reportedly woke up at 6:20 a.m. to read the text, as well as seeing a missed call from one of the cousins who was with her son in the car before he disappeared. A voicemail left by his paternal grandfather described an alleged fallout between the cousins and Giovanni, which resulted in him pulling a knife before running away into the night. After he attempts to contact Giovanni failed, Bridget began to trace his location using his phone's GPS data. Upon arriving at the designated spot, she discovered his bag, his phone, and backpack abandoned on the roadside, which set alarm bells ringing. Worrying red flags, she reportedly claimed her beloved son would never have left these items behind. Noting his constant attachment to his phone. One of the cousins also allegedly told her how the group smoked marijuana together before events took a dramatic turn for the worse. There have been reports of a confrontation at the side of the road. When that happened, they said they wrestled the knife from him, and then my son took off running, Bridget told People. A contradictory statement from the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office on August 2nd, however, claimed Giovanni suddenly began to act erratically before exiting the vehicle and walking away near SR 70 in Manatee County. Desiree, who lives in Mississippi but traveled to Florida with her 2 children to help with the search effort, is alarmed by the story of his disappearance being changed multiple times by the others involved. They are also wrestling with the issue of the search crossing the borders of Charlotte and Brevard counties, an area of 1,700 square miles, and where the authorities' responsibility lies. The U.S. Sun has contacted the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, but has not heard back yet. We are really confused about what exactly happened, Desiree said tearfully. Fresh help. Local cops have been combing the scene, but the search now into this day 6. A Facebook post from a family member said the grandmother is recovering from a stroke, which occurred while hunting for clues, and police resources then on the ground in the sweltering Florida summer sun have help has arrived. Where are the essentials? A nonprofit organization run by a group of private investigators has stepped up to boost numbers. Amanda Reed spoke to the U.S. Sun en route to the location where Giovanni's belongings were found in Bradenton, Manatee County, and promised his family everything is being done to find him safe and sound. They were alerted to the situation via social media and immediately offered their assistance. Amanda, a Florida-based Brit, and her 2 colleagues were working closely with authorities and have been in constant contact with Bridget and the rest of the family, desperately trying to establish a timeline of events. They acknowledged an altercation allegedly took place, forcing the car to pull over to the side of the road. Cadaver dogs were sent to the scene on Thursday, yet question marks remain. Amanda said the grandfather who initially left the voicemail has now clammed up. The grandfather clammed up, which has only raised her suspicions even further. The fact some people involved are being very exclusive and not speaking makes us think, why aren't they coming forward? Amanda told the U.S. Sun. Did they get in the car? Did they do some dope? Was it laced with fentanyl or something? We don't know, but won't stop until we find out. A GoFundMe has been established to support the search efforts, and anyone with information has been urged to email findgiovanni 143@gmail.com. We don't want the case to become cold, added Desiree, who thanked the U.S. Sun for helping intensify awareness of the worrying situation. We are literally in the woods, in the trenches. There's no limitation. We will find him. This is sad. Julius, your thoughts?
My heart goes out to this family, but I'm disturbed. I'm very disturbed at this. I'm filled with unease and disturbance spiritually at this. The stories is changing, especially from the paternal side. The big alpha who left the even, now he's being elusive. The others involved are changing their story. So that's gonna raise the questions. Did y'all plan to do something to him? And he quickly put one to two together? It it's it's not making sense. If those alleged cousins, I'm saying alleged, because what I actually think I can't say live on air. If those alleged cousins say that they have just no idea he just started bugging out, okay, fine, but why change your stories afterward? Why become elusive? Why act suspicious? Why clam up? That family has something to do with their newfound family member disappearance. They have something to do with now having a mother worry, fearing the worst, that her son may not be long for this world. I don't want to speak that into an existence, but folks, we have to think of the possibility here. I hope he is found safe and sound and is returned to his mother and her family. And I hope the paternal side, who he has not even met before, because the article said of his estranged father. Estranged, y'all. Estranged. That means that whole entire side was estranged from him. So we need to also look at it this way. I don't know for sure, but there is more to the story as to what happened. I hope that young man is safe and sound and he is found safe and sound. God, hear my vocal prayer on that. But we have to prepare that maybe the update is going to be a heartbreaking one. And on this story, because it looks like this young man is a very good kid, doesn't have a criminal record, has a lovely maternal family, a phenomenal mama. I'm hoping I'm wrong and that he is found safe and sound. That's it.
Yeah, Katrina, your thoughts?
Why the granddad not telling the story or changing up his story? What do he know? And for them to say that he was smoking weed laced with fentanyl and he was acting erratic, first of all, both of those are depressants. Weed make you relax, and so do fentanyl.
Can you not
Fentanyl.
say
I'm
all of
sorry.
that,
I'm sorry about the word. Sorry about the word.
Katrina? But not only that, they've been changing their stories. So I don't
Yeah,
even.
they've been changing the story. So why was he erratic, and why did y'all leave him? And the mom said she got a text like he was typing the text quickly, so therefore something was happening in order for him to do that. And then his stuff just right there on the side of the road. So what you trying to say? An alligator ate him or something? So what did y'all do with this baby body? Because something is not adding up. The stories have changed over 20 times, and he's still missing. And the granddad don't want to say anything. I don't buy this story, Diva. I don't know what they did to this young man. Because if he got the car acting erratic, why has he made it to a service station or seen somebody on the side of the road or try to get help? This not making no sense. And especially when they found his stuff on the side of the road. So you gonna leave all your stuff on the side of the road and just walk away from it? There's no way. There's no way. And then you haven't made it to no stores, no nothing, no nobody house to call for help or anything like that. And your cell phone is gone. Granddad know way more than what he's telling. I don't know if they threatened him or he was involved in it and let it happen, allegedly. but something is not right with that. Something is not adding up. But I'm not going to say that he's gone until we know for sure. But I just pray that he's recovered, he's found, and everything would work out. So I'm just going to hold on for hope right like that until we find out, if something else is there. But other than that, I wish the lady very much well to go and find him, to get some type of a trace of whatever's going on, because like I said, this is not adding up, Diva, and I'm just going around in circles on this because I'm confused about the grandfather hinder anybody from finding their grandson. But I pray that he's found, regardless if alive or unalive. I just pray that he found, because there's nothing like a family member body missing and you don't know what happened. I mean, that knowing what happened, or finding that person, that can give you some type of peace. But never finding that person, your mind's gonna wander, your heart's gonna wander. You're gonna go through all type of emotions just trying to get to that person or trying to find out what happened to that person, especially your child. But that's all I got.
Wayne, your thoughts?
You know,
I don't. And wait 1 second, Wayne. I don't think he OD'd. I think they did something to him. But go ahead, Wayne.
okay. I was gonna say I feel the pain of the people who love this young man, and the reason I say that because I helped raise my grandson. Was I raised my grandson, and he's in that age group, and that's the parent's worst fear. That when your child, is gone away from you like that, the fear of like when your child get their driver's license, and they take that trip by themselves, and you just worry yourself to death that something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And the horror of that is something happens. And then you blame yourself. Like this was 1:30 in the morning. What do you do at 1:30 in the morning? I don't know if his mother wasn't there or allowed it or whatever, but nothing happened at 1:30 in the morning, especially with people you don't know. But it's a painful story because especially if you have grandchildren or children in that age group, and you see how easily it can happen. I'm done.
Yeah, Savannah, your thoughts?
This is a heartbreaking story.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine as a mother waking up and looking at your phone and what you see is "Help me, Mom"? From that moment, that mother has lost her breath and she hasn't been able to find her baby. I do believe, I agree with you, Deva. I think they did something to this young man
Mm-hmm.
for whatever degenerate reason that they may have had. Um, and if I think Wayne, you're familiar with that area, there's cameras all up and down I-75. The turnpike is right there. There's nothing but cameras in that area. So I think that they're going to piece together the timeline of this story, and we will know more in the coming days. The story does keep changing. The cousins arrived, drove down to Dade County, Miami, Florida that morning. So that's a couple hours away from where they supposedly dropped them off, which I do believe that there's evidence that they arrived in Dade County, but I think they went over there to get their story straight. The grandfather seems very shady and washy to me. I think he should also be implicated in this tragic story. I'm just going to pray that the mother gets some rest, and that if this is just absolutely, I've been following it since the weekend, um, because it's unreal. I-75 is busy day or night. It doesn't matter if it's 1 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning. That's in Naples. That's a good area, and it does lead you into Miami. And the turnpike is right there. There is bodies of water all up and down that road, so there are gators. Um, he was just with people who didn't care about him and didn't value him, and and to know that it's your own family makes it even more heartbreaking.
Yeah. When I read and saw this story, my heart broke. My heart really broke because when the mother I couldn't imagine you waking up to text that she woke up to that just helped me. And he tried to text several people, auntie, mommy, grandpa, but it was hours upon which you sleep. I don't even know what I would do. I don't even know what I would do. And then to be able to track his phone only to get there and you see his phone, his bag, and his stuff is there and he's not. This is tragic and it's very sad. And it's just sad. It's just extremely sad.
And who's gonna walk away and leave their phone? Come on now.
Yeah. And I also think that they didn't take that phone because they knew it could be tracked. So they didn't want the phone to be with them. And who lets their cousin, no matter if you spazzing out or whatever, it was the wee hours in the morning, who would let their family member just walk out and just, even no matter how mad you are. But to know that these was cousins that he didn't even know, it just, this whole thing just wasn't, it was a bad scenario all the way around. It's just super sad. And now grandpa is not telling some truths. Tara, I appreciate you. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Much love. Thank you so much. It's heart-wrenching. And every time I see stories like this, it saddens me because still, there's no justice for Shanquilla. Still, because there was a gag order put on those two families for the little girl, where the one cousin, I think she might have been 13 and she killed the 7-year-old cousin. They put gag orders on both of those families. So I don't even know. And every time I go to Google, I still can't find an update on that particular story. And the one with Shanquell, they some of them actually legally changed their name just so that they won't be recognized as people, that were part of that situation. This is just so sad. I mean, your cousins and this mother, I think the sadder part for her, like, of course it's sad that she doesn't know where her son is, what happened, or whatever the case may be. But I think the sadder part is you probably beating yourself up. Like, what if I woke up? What if I saw the text? Would I have been able to save him? I don't know. I mean, just the cruelty of people is insane. And that's why I always tell my son, like, watch out who you hang out with. Let me know where you're going. I need to physically see you before you leave because I need to know what you have on. These kids, they just think everybody's good and nothing's ever going to happen. Go ahead, Wayne. It seemed like you was trying to say something.
No, I was just going to say, I wonder if he had some form of autism, where he may have been swayed so easily and just not really know, what he was getting into.
I don't think, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think he did. I think this is simply some evil people. He didn't know them. So I think he was being naive in the sense that, we got this Ramir looking for his dad, right? He wants Jay-Z to take this blood test. It's just it's something about wanting to know your bloodline, wanting to know your family, right? So, here they are, they the cousins. Call them up. Come on, we're gonna take you, gonna see your dad, or whatever the case may be. And it went left. It went left. But the sadder part, like I said, at a certain hour of the morning, nobody needs to be in the streets. Nothing good is going to come out of it. So I will say, connected to this story, it's extremely sad. It's extremely sad. It's extremely sad, and we will stay connected to it. Listen, guys, I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for, hanging out with me on this Thursday night doing trending topics. And, there's several stories that I'm still staying connected to see if there's any updates. But if y'all happen to see the update before I do, send me an email, put a message out there for me. Let me know, because I'm also, I think August the 14th, the little kid with the crochet that did the crocheting, he goes back to court. So I will stay connected to these stories. I appreciate y'all for being here. Thank you so much. Y'all know the routine. If y'all didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.
Choo choo.